Hello everyone. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at some Roman Szmal Aquarius Watercolors. This is another brand I've wanted to try for quite a while, so I was really happy when a kind subscriber sent me some to try. Now, in pretty much every review I've seen about these paints, it's said that they can be a bit of a pain to unwrap due to the honey content making them very sticky. So I followed people's advice and I put them in the freezer for a little while before opening, just to make them a bit firmer. And happily they all unwrapped with no mess at all. I'm always a bit wary about putting paint in the freezer, but I guess 10 minutes shouldn't cause any harm, hopefully. Okay, so first up we have Cadmium Lemon, which is PY35. I do much prefer a cadmium lemon to a normal lemon yellow. I usually use the Rembrandt cadmium yellow lemon, and I've never really been able to find another I like as much. This one seems pretty close though, it is very nice. Next we have Bismuth Yellow, PY84. This is a new pigment to me. I can't think of any other brands I've tried it in. Yeah, it's a really beautiful, clean yellow. It's a little bit opaque, but still looks good, I think. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Now moving on to the Quinacridone Gold, which is PY150 and PO48. It looks really good. Yeah, I'm really enjoying using Quin Golds these days. I'm not sure if I like this one more than my Holbein, but I think I'll have to do a Quin Gold comparison sometime in the future and see how they look. Now we have Cadmium Red, which is PR108. I don't use Cadmium Red all that often, but I do quite like having it available in my palette, you know, because sometimes you need that vibrant red. Yeah, this one looks good. But then again, Cad Reds I've tried in pretty much every brand have looked pretty good. Next we have French Ultramarine, which is PB29. Now, people have explained to me the difference between French and normal ultramarine, but I usually forget. I'm pretty sure it's that French ultramarine is a bit warmer and has more granulation. Hopefully that's right. All I do know is that this Roman Szmal French ultramarine is really very nice. Next we have Cobalt Blue Deep, PB74. This is another completely new pigment to me. Oh, it seems much redder than the regular PB28 Cobalt Blue. It's almost like a slightly less vibrant ultramarine. Yeah, wow, it's really beautiful. Yeah, I think I'm going to be using this one a lot. Next is Phthalo Blue Red Shade, which is PB156. This is my usual kind of workhorse blue. It's very high tinting strength and usually pretty cheap. And a little goes a long way. Yeah, this one looks pretty good to me. Next we have the multi-pigment Aquarius Green. It's a mix of PB29, PB129, PY150 and PBR25. It's quite an interesting green. Yeah, I think it's the kind of green I would use in my paintings. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to testing that one out, I think. Next we have another green. This is Olive Green Light. So this is another 4-pigment mix of PBR25, PB29, PY129 and PY150. Yeah, it's another nice green. I don't think it's quite as interesting as the Aquarius Green though. Okay, now we have Yellow Ochre, which is PY43. I've heard lots of good things about Roman Szmal's earth pigments, so I'm quite looking forward to trying all these. Yeah, it looks like a fine yellow ochre. It doesn't seem to be as opaque as I'm used to it being with some other brands. Yeah, it looks perfectly fine. Next we have Italian Burnt Sienna, which is PBR7. I usually like my Burnt Sienna to be a PBR7 rather than the PR101 that some brands use. Again, I'll have to do another comparison soon to see if that's still the case. This Burnt Sienna looks really good to me actually. It's got a nice glow to it and it has a bit of granulation too. So Roman Szmal Earths are looking pretty good to me so far. Now onto the Earth Reds with English Red Deep, which is PR102. Oh yeah, this looks quite familiar. It definitely reminds me of my discontinued Rembrandt Light Oxide Red. Yeah, maybe this one feels a bit nicer than that though. Yeah, and I like that it has a bit of granulation too. Now we have Mars Red, which is PR101. I've not used this colour before. From what I can tell, it seems to be like a slightly browner or orangier, is that word? Indian red. I could be wrong about that though, so we'll have to wait and look at them when they're dry. It is really opaque though. Yeah, maybe I painted it out a little bit too thick. I can see a little bit of granulation coming through though. It's quite nice. Okay, now we're on to my favourite colour, which is Indian Red. And this is PR101. Oh wow, this really like flows once it touches the wet paper. Yeah, again, I think I've painted this a bit too thick. Yeah, it's very opaque, just like the Mars Red. Yeah, this has some nice granulation as well. Yeah, and this has a much pinker undertone than the Mars Red. And next we have Shadow Violet. This is made from PG50, PB29 and PV19. It's not the kind of colour I'd normally use, but it looks pretty nice. I don't know if this is supposed to be, like if it's supposed to show some separation of pigments or not. I'm not really seeing that at the moment. Next up is Perylene Green, which is PBK31. This is yet another completely new pigment to me. A few people have recommended it to me though. And yeah, it's really nice. I can see why. I can just imagine this one being very useful to painting trees. Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect from it, but I really like it. Okay, and finally we have Payne's Grey, which is PBK9, PB27 and PR264. Now I've said before in other videos that I like my Payne's Grey to be a bit on the blue side. And yeah, this one looks pretty good to me. It's not as blue as I would hope, but it's still very nice. Okay, great. So that's all of them swatched out. They're all very nice to paint with. There's no weird textures or gumminess, so that's good. and here they are in daylight when completely dry. Yeah, I've got to say that I'm really impressed with them. I had delayed trying them in the past as I didn't really like the idea of using pans, and I'm like many others, I'm sure, was hoping they'd start selling tube versions at some point, but doesn't really look like that's happening anytime soon. But to be honest, the pans weren't really a problem. They all re-wet really easily. It's just not so easy to put the pans into my favourite palettes. I was trying to choose which were my favourites out of these, but honestly, they're all good. Maybe the green, Shadow Violet and Mars Red aren't really that essential to me, but they're still very nice paints. In terms of quality, I feel they might be a slight step up from my usual Rembrandt colours, though that could be just me kind of itching to try something new. Yeah, either way, I'm definitely looking forward to getting some painting done with these Roman Szmal. So what's your view on these paints? Have you tried them? Do you like them? And do you ever think they're going to release tube versions? Yeah, I really wish they would. I'm sure they'd be very successful. I mean, I know I'd buy them. So thank you very much for watching, and again, a very big thank you to the kind subscriber who sent me all these paints to try. Much appreciated, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.